have the other ones available in there.
Wait.
But
What? So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
I don't mean to bow after that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Mojo! I learned my lesson from last night. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drinks imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day.
I'm going to give you a favor, Jen. I just say, later.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like Boulevard Drawstream smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Yes. Oh, man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Yeah, there we are. There we are, guys. We made it. We did it. Woo.
We made it.
Amazing. Sorry, guys. We had some technical things. Mr. RJ William couldn't get the camera to work. So I kind of rebooted the entire thing. But still, it didn't work. So unfortunately, we will have to look at your wonderful avatar. But it's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. We can still chat, you know?
Can you
So,
hear me okay?
Sorry? All right.
You can't hear me okay, at least?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
All right. Let
That's
me do
how
my
it works.
little intro. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of A Drink With Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams and their lives, but also their books and their campaigns, because frankly I'm kind of done with mainstream sucks and indie is where the passion is. So yes, I hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend and a nice Sunday. How's your weekend going, RJ?
It's great. Nice and relaxing.
Relaxing. All right, great. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Yes, sorry guys. Sorry for the confusion, but luckily Gorilla Mars says, I'll forgive you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And let me see. 58 Underground is also with us in the chat. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Glenn Fleming is with us today. Hello, Glenn. How are you today, man? And Mike. Hello, Mike. Nice to see you. Day finally has lift off. Yes, we have. Oh no, we lost. Crenshaw. Crenshaw. We lost Crenshaw. We had Crenshaw in the chat. Anyway, guys. RJ, you can hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Right. I have to start with the question. We can't see it, but I trust you. Is what are you drinking right now?
I'm having a B12 drink. Just water and B12.
B12?
Flavored like orange.
Like vitamin?
Yeah. Flavored
right.
like orange juice. Yeah, kind of boring.
That's cool. Oh, Crenshaw made it. Woo! Phew!
What time is it where you are?
It's now 8:15.
Yeah, it's noon where I am.
Yeah, I know.
Not to say we don't drink. Like I'm in Colorado, we drink beer.
I know.
24/7.
It's you know, man. If my last name rhymed with food, it was something with food. It just happened to be the theme of the title. So yeah. Anyway, doing well, says Glenn. I'll have a new art to show soon somewhere. Oh, excellent. Good to see people doing art, doing their thing. So RJ, what made you decide to get creative? Were you always like into creating comics, or is this something new? What's the story?
Well, I always wanted to be like a creative writer. I always like had stories going on in my head. And I actually, so I grew up in California, so I thought I'd be in the film industry at some point. And then, long story short, my career in life kind of took a different turn. I ended up being a firefighter paramedic. And
Oh wow!
didn't really have obviously too much of a creative job. But it's something I always wanted to do, and kind of just for fun, I wrote a movie script. And Lisa Foyles, who I have a trading card of, that's going to be part of my campaign. She was homeschooled with my wife's family, and she's an actor. She was in All That and Malcolm in the Middle, been some other roles too. She has a band now called Von Bolt. If you look up Lisa Foyles on Instagram, she's been a big part of this, and kind of like a guiding force leading me towards the comic books. But she read my script.
So you work with her now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So she read the original script, which takes place in this universe, different story, but same characters. And she said it kind of lends itself to like animation or, maybe a comic book. So then this is around the time Elon bought Twitter. And I started poking around just out of curiosity. And then I found people like Luke Stone and Mike Barron and, the whole Fund My Comic crew. And, it's been great. And ultimately I ended up writing my own script. And turns out I actually live by Mike Barron. And he helped. I showed him the first draft, and then he helped me write another one, and he became the editor of this book.
What did you say? You live close to him? What did you say?
Yeah, I live close to him.
All right. So you actually met him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like over coffee. Like he read my script.
Yeah.
And then he became the editor for this book. So the script for this book is a Mike Barron edited script.
That's fantastic, man. That's really cool. That's like, that's amazing. So what was his feedback? What were the things that you could use for your draft of the story?
Well, he to censor what he said, he read the first draft. He said it's better than most of the bleep that DC and Marvel are currently publishing.
All right. But, to be fair, it's not
a low bar.
It's not a high bar, right?
Yeah. It's
not,
a low bar.
Not to discredit your script, but that's most stuff out there. Yeah.
No, it's a low bar, and there were a lot of improvements to be made, and we made them. And so mostly he helped with, I'd say, pacing. Definitely helped me reduce the page count and pace the story better. Do more with less, basically. Same with the word count and the panels per page. Just kind of helped me distill the story, make it more concise. It flows a lot better now, I think.
So were you a comic book reader before you started to make your own comic?
Not really. Funny, Lisa was like, you wouldn't think so, because like she's a model, and everything, an actress, but like she has like a podcast and talks about like Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, and all that. Like her and all her band are like comic book people, and she kind of pointed me in that direction. And that's when I realized this story really does work great in comic book form, and knowing comic book people and, being a couple years involved in like the indie comic scene, I've become a comic book person. But some of us just get in on adult life. Like even Mike, he wasn't really a comic book reader until college. But yeah, I was a late bloomer in comic books. That's for sure.
Sure. Yeah. Well, better late than never, man. But when you read a lot of comics, you kind of absorb like the comic book language, the way they are made, the way they like things like pacing and panel counts and stuff like that. But you had to learn all of that, right?
Yeah, I had to learn all of that. I read, some textbooks on comic books. I read just actual comic books. Sure. And then, Mike has a very different take on his approach to writing comics than I think most writers do. If you look at Mike's books, like he has less words on the page than most artists. He tries to really keep it as visual as possible, as concise as possible.
Yeah, that's better. Some writers are very wordy. They like to show like they like to make the reader actually read, like captions and stuff. And usually, things you can remove, you should remove. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Like, none of us are Shakespeare. They're not,
No.
getting
No, of course not. But
our books to read the words.
y-
They want it to flow with the art.
yeah. Especially like you had, for instance, when Todd McFarlane started to write Spawn. He
It's
had
like
this,
work when
yeah, man.
Sponge.
He had like this drive to show people that he could write. I'm a writer now, so people had to know it. So everywhere you had like captions and a lot of text. It's not necessary. Knock it off.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not
But-
necessary. Yeah. I think the art should do most of the legwork.
Yeah, exactly. Samir says, Gorilla Mar, I'm a late bloomer in the comic world. Yeah, well, yeah, I sometimes wonder if you're not really into comics, how do you get people into comics right now? Because this is not like the best like comic book era for mainstream. In the 90s, you could like attract a lot of people. You had like books sold millions sometimes, right? It was purely like the art was vibrant and cool looking, and everything just looked cool, And nowadays, it's how do you get people to read comic books,
Yeah, a lot of people, get their stories from video games and
Yeah,
movies, and
yeah. That also there's a lot of stuff for people to do. You can do you can fill your days doing anything but reading comics. So if you produce something, you have to bring your A game. You have to like try to bring new readers in, provide something that catches the eye, So who is your artist for your book? Your book is called Orion, right?
Call sign Orion. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So Luke Stone's the artist. You know Luke Stone.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, he was one of the first artists I was talking to on X, and started streaming with him. And then it was really the art of Chrome Dog that I think really caught my attention. And Patrick Gamma had a lot to do with that, with his colors.
Sure.
And so I got Luke Stone and Patrick Gamma as the team doing the interior art and the main cover. And yeah, I think they do amazing stuff.
Right.
I think Patrick Gamma's colors really speaks to the world, because I want it to be like not a black and white dull sci-fi kind of world. I want it to be colorful. I want it to, the technology to really shine and glow, and there's a space battle that happens in a nebula, and I really want the colors to jump, and I think it all looks amazing.
Yeah. So, but you had to network, right? You were just basically new. You decided I'm going to make a comic book, and then you had to find people within this little like industry. Luckily, you knew Mike. That's a huge help, right? But it's like you did a lot of things very quickly. Like usually you build a network, then slowly you like start writing a book. Things develop. But you started like you hit the ground running, right?
Yeah, I basically did. Like I had the story, and I had the idea for the story.
Right. Yeah.
And not long into that, like I knew I was networking, meeting the right people, got the final draft of the script edited, and really the thing that I think took the longest is just getting my own attention online, so people would actually get eyes on this book when it launched. So I went back and forth on when the right time to launch would be, and then kind of recently landed on a day, May 30th. So it'll be on Fund My Comic May 30th, and we'll be launching on Michael Bancroft's channel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So 1 month to go.
1 month to go.
All right. Ooh, exciting. So how far into production are you now?
We've got 4 pages done, and the main cover is almost done. Any day now, main cover is gonna be coming out.
Okay. Yeah. You need a catchy cover.
Yeah,
So,
gotta have that.
So it'll be 1 cover, and that's
2
it.
We're gonna have
Oh,
a B cover also. I don't know how much I'm allowed to share about the B cover yet, but it's we got a really cool artist and concept, and I think it's gonna be great.
Excellent. Welcome, Tank Ferret. Welcome, sir. Another wonderful artist. All right, I brought up your trailer for Call Sign Orion.
Awesome.
It's people can find it on your YouTube channel. You have a YouTube channel.
Yes, sir.
I linked it down below, guys. You can subscribe to RJ's YouTube channel. All right, let's take a look at your trailer. There we go. Sound.
I don't hear it. Not sure why the sound isn't coming through.
Yeah.
I see you bobbing your head to the music, but we can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it? No.
No.
Why? There's always something. Always something. Oh, damn it.
I could tell you could hear it.
Yeah. It was cool music. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just watch it then. We'll right. Link in the comments. Oh, that's it. It's done.
Yeah, it's only a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, I could hear it. The music is wonderful. But if people want to hear the music, you can check it out, guys. The link is down below. Go check out the trailer. Go subscribe. Right. So, but you said it started as a screenplay for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very expensive movie.
Yeah, it would be an incredibly expensive movie to make.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
So, yeah, that's the wonderful thing about comics. You like the budget is what it is, and you can make anything you want within the same budget.
Right.
So, yeah. Oh, Darkseid is also here, guys. Darkseid is comics. Hail to you, sir. Guys, Darkseid is comics has a YouTube channel where he does daily comic book reviews. So go subscribe to that. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, the budget of comics is much more doable if the page rate's the same, whether it's just a close up or a space battle.
Yeah, exactly. So you write. So you write the basic like you write the full script. Then Mike checks it, and you make some rewrites.
Mm-hmm.
And what about like the characters, like the designs? And do you hire people to design the characters for you?
No, I mean, I had the characters written, and Luke just comes up, with I tell Luke, what I want him to look like, and the old-fashioned way. We don't even use AI. I just give them a description of, this is the character's backstory. This is what they should look like. Like for the aliens, I use some references. Like the one alien, and like the background, he's like kind of behind your head there.
Yeah.
I said he should look like a human version, like sort of a humanoid, sort of Lynx, and his face make him look a little bit like Jocko Willink, and like give him the same mohawk. So that's what he went for, and I think it turned out great. I think the original was like kind of like a brown lynx, and then I gave him a picture of like an Arctic lynx, like one that lives in like a colder environment and has more of like white and gray colors to it. So that's what he went for there. Same with the other alien. It's like supposed to be from like a rocky desert planet. It's supposed to look like an insect. He had like a white exoskeleton originally. I think I used like a wasp as a reference, and then, change it to brown. But other than that, I just gave them descriptions and they come up with designs for them. I think Orion originally looked spot on. I described him as looking like Casper Van Dien in Starship Troopers, and I think he nailed that look.
Sure.
Because Starship Troopers is actually like a big to answer the question in chat, Jocko Willink, Navy SEAL guy with a podcast.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat asked about it. But Starship Troopers was like a big inspiration. So I wanted the Orion to look like Casper Van Dien in Starship Troopers.
Right. Yeah. It's cool when you can draw references like that. Darkside says, "Wait a minute. We have seen RJ before, right?" Well,
I've never been on this show before. I stream with Luke on Nerd Bacon sometimes.
Yeah. Yes. Mike says, "Looking like who with a mohawk?"
Yeah, that'll be Jocko Willink, the podcast Navy SEAL guy.
Yeah. Looks slick. Nice blue page. A lot of blue.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
a lot
you.
of blue going on.
Yeah, on this page they just kind of because like the 4 pages I sent you, we're like they're sequential. Those are like we chose those because they kind of capture like a little bit of the space battle, and then after they board the ship. So this is right after they boarded a ship, blew a hole in it, landed inside, and then they sealed it off. So like that blue you see behind them is like sort of like this makeshift seal to seal off outer space.
Right. I don't know if you have like this is another page. There we go.
There we go. Yeah. Space battle there.
This is a nice page also. Nice color.
Yeah. I think Luke, the ship design was a lot of work, but I like how they came out.
Yeah. So is this ship basically designed on the page? You start drawing, you draw the page and just start drawing this ship, and whatever happens, and then you have your design.
Oh no, I gave him a lot of references. So I basically said let's do make it look like a stealth fighter. That's sort of a combination of like an R-wing from Star Fox and the Viper in Battlestar Galactica. And it took a few drafts, but I think like he nailed the design for that ship.
Sure.
And same with the others, like the bad guy ships. We went through a few different designs for those. I like the swept forward wings. I think it looks like a bad guy ship. There's also another ship that the bad guys fly that doesn't appear till later in the book. And then like the big ship, we went through some designs, want to look kind of like a battleship sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very challenging. I can imagine to have like space battles in a comic book because you have to do with like still images, right? And it has to be like constantly moving a lot of like locations, positions. So it's challenging, right, to get a scene correct visually.
Yeah, we did make some 3D references. I know people hate the idea of 3D assets. It's not cut and paste. Don't worry. This is like actually drawn.
Okay.
But but like for references, he had to create some like 3D references for that consistency, because he's drawing the same ships over and over again from many different angles, and it does help to have an actual reference.
Oh, right. That's another level. Yeah, that's actually like having a 3D model. That's fantastic. Mike says the ships look great.
Thank you, Mike.
Battlestar Galactica Vipers.
Yeah, that was the Vipers were a big reference for the Aerostar. So that ship you see in the middle panel coming at you, that's the F-26 Aerostar. I actually do have some 3D printed miniatures, just for fun, But
the F-26 Aerostar.
Yep.
All right.
That's what the good guy. So the Orion is the leader of the Alphas. They're basically like Navy SEALs in the future.
Yeah.
And because the story takes place 1,000 years in the future, everyone really flies ships. So I figured, why wouldn't like the Navy SEALs fly ships?
Sure.
But they're called Alphas, and they fly in these ships. They also fly in space. Like, they're really good at fighting in space. They have, these suits that could fly also.
Cool.
But yeah, that's their ship. That's the good guy ship right there, and it's just a lot of fun. I wanted to bring sort of a Top Gun feel to it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So is that like the main element, just like Top Gun, which basically revolves around these battles, these planes? So is this the same thing, or is the story like different, and this is just one element of it?
It's just one element of the story. Yeah.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. So like the basic synopsis of the story is there's this terrorist group. They capture some hostages and they're demanding the release of like their leader. He's a really bad guy, and they send in their version of the Navy SEALs to rescue the hostages. So that's basically what they're doing on this mission.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah, most of the book follows that battle. It's a very action-packed book, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's cool. Tank Ferret says, I'm really loving the visuals. He also says, there is no cheating in commercial art, only results. This is assets used properly.
Yes. Thank you, Take Ferret. I agree.
Mike says, also Space Above and Beyond, an underappreciated 90s TV series of one season. Do you know that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Yeah. I think I did watch that one. That was the Gene Rodden. No, I'm thinking of Earth Final Conflict. Above and Beyond. I can't place that one.
No, I don't think it's from Roddenberry. He already made like a bunch of things.
There were a lot of great sci-fi IPs coming out in the 90s and 2000s. It's a pretty good time for sci-fi on television.
Mike says, anyway, this content stands on its own merits, looks kinetic and fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, Matthew Creek. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Today we are talking to RJ William about his book, Call Sign Orion.
Yeah.
And this is part of a larger, so this is one book. Will it be part of a series, or is it one book?
This is book number 1. I'm not sure exactly how many in the series. I'm thinking somewhere between 3 and 5. I'm working on the sequel right now. I'm having fun with it. I'm about halfway done with the first draft of the script for the sequel.
All right.
I have a whole big universe plotted out. If you get on my Substack page, which I'm using as a mailing list, I put out some exclusive content there. I think I put out a video about it on my YouTube, actually. And I use some AI images, but there's basically just storyboarding, and it's a little like bonus backstory of all the major events, like historical events I made up that would take place between now and 1,000 years from now, leading up to the main story. I kind of had fun with that. In the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov, he has the Encyclopedia Galactica. So I call it Encyclopedia Diaspora, and just kind of made up my own history.
All right.
But yeah, there's a whole big universe planned in which the story takes place, and I have like some fun villains I want to introduce and some story beats I want to get to and other issues. But exactly how many, I would guess between 3 and 5. I'm trying to keep. I don't want to like do like part 1 and part 2 books, and just tease people. I want each book to be its own contained story. So this book is like 42 pages. No.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, 42 pages of story, and then I'm gonna have some extra stuff in there, fan art and covers and whatnot.
So it's more like each issue is like a episode from a TV series.
Exactly.
With the same main characters, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So each issue is going to be its own story. I'm not going to tease you guys with cliffhangers, and I think that'll make it more worth the buy and more worth the wait. But yeah, 3 to 5 somewhere in there. And who knows? It's a big universe. I could do spin-offs or something later, but I want to follow Orion for 3 to 5 issues.
Wow. That's a large undertaking.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes do you sometimes people don't really comprehend the amount of work it takes over your life, especially when you have this series. So this is years of your life dedicated to this comic book series, right?
Well, you know what I'm talking about. You've done a lot of Perfect 10, and you're
Yeah.
building from there, and you got the whole universe where 10 takes place.
I have no social life, man. It's it's a lot of work, but if you love it, if this is the story you want to tell, and you really love this book, the stories, yeah, absolutely, man. Matthew Creek says, I like this video and so can you. Yes, please like this stream. Thank you. Space Above and Beyond was made by 2 former X-Files writers. I didn't know.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know. Yeah. Mike is full of like these little tidbits. Always. Let's see. yeah, boss Dave. Oh, thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. I really I'm truly blessed, man, with all these awesome people, awesome supporters. Yeah, man, it's great. It's great. Right. So, what's going on here? What was your looking at this page, right? So you wrote this. So what was your process with writing this particular scene or page?
Well, so in the larger sequence, so we saw the previous page, it was that space battle. And at the end of that sequence, Orion, the shields go down. He's got this, so it's a 6-man team that we're following, and only 6 alphas. They're way outnumbered. Huge squadron. they're way outnumbered. But it'll be explained in the book. The F-26 Aerostars that they fly are incredibly fast, and basically only alphas have the skill to fly them and dogfight in a ship that moves that fast. And they have this guy on the team. His call sign is, they all go by their call signs, just like fighter pilots do.
Sure.
So Orion's the leader. Archimedes is like the technical guy. And he jumps out of his ship. Their spacesuits can fly. He lands on the ship and takes down their shields. Then Orion blows a hole in one of the landing bays. And first panel here, he's jumping out of his ship. Second panel, he lands inside. You see the bad guy shooting at him. And this is one thing. See, I just got done with the Battle Bowl in Comic Book Lundy. I was up against Jared Frost Comics. So he and I have like a friendly rivalry, but like Orion's like kind of X factor, if you will, is his agility. He can move incredibly fast. So he, in the third panel, he's moving so fast, he's outrunning those laser bolts. And then in the next panel, he's flipping over them and then shooting them down with his own pistols. And by the time they're hitting the ground, he's landing and his guys are landing behind him. He's telling them to seal off the opening. And then they're throwing like grenades that kind of create that seal that you see behind them and that other page that shows their faces.
That last panel, that's like a force field to see.
Yeah, exactly. It's a force field. Yeah.
Right. So because this is space, right? So what you see bodies lying there, aren't things supposed to like be like fly out?
Like, yeah, there's like some gravity on the ship.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Right. Okay, cool. So yeah, you have this suit design, and he's also carrying a sword. So there's some swords.
Yep. That's Orion carries a sword, like a wakizashi. Basically, it's the short samurai sword. It's like their self-defense weapon. He carries that. It's like his signature weapon.
Right. Oh,
and
that's
you'll see in 2 pages from this one. It's he's actually got it out. He's using it.
All right. Let me find that one. You sent me 4 pages, so let me find the last page. That's this one. I think you mean this one. Let me. Oh, that's a little bit smaller, guys, but let's see how we can make it work. Share the screen window. There we go. Share. It's a bit smaller, but.
Oh yeah, that is.
I'm not sure if people can actually see it.
Can we
Wait,
zoom?
let me try. No, it doesn't. it doesn't function. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I
Um,
wonder if I could blow up the panel somehow and share it on my screen because I've got all
yeah,
these
if you
other
can, would be
alternate
cool.
versions of it.
Yeah, you don't have it like anywhere yet. So people like you send this to me, but people can't actually go somewhere to watch to look at these pages, right?
Well, if you go on my Substack page, actually, I got kind of blown up there, actually.
Oh, your Substack page. All right.
Yeah, it's in the private chat. The link's there.
Oh, yeah. All right. I see it right now.
And this is my mailing list too. So if you guys subscribe to this, I actually give you free stuff. So are you a fan of pop sockets, Dave? I don't know if you're familiar with those. They go on the
I
back
don't
of your
know
phone.
what it is.
I wish I could show you. I've got some demos here, but my camera doesn't work.
No, I don't know what it is.
Let me try my camera again. Nope, still doesn't work. So a pop socket, some people in the audience might know. It's this like kind of round button thing, but it extends. It's got this rubber piece on it, and it goes on the back of your phone. So yeah, if you scroll down, you'll see the page is more blown up.
Oh, this is better. This is much better. Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
The last one might not have loaded. I don't. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There we
Okay.
go.
So yeah, he's got the sword out. He's shooting. He's cutting people down. That's his girlfriend there, Diana. She's one of the hostages. So the stakes are a bit more personal for Orion. He's extra motivated. That's why he's hacking people up. He's angry.
Let me zoom in a little bit. Right here. Nice. Yeah, you can totally see this as a movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Starship Troopers meets Battlestar Galactica with a little bit of Brave New World
yeah.
baked in there. That's kind of how I consider it.
What's the girl's name?
Diana Lawson from the planet Pegasus, if you want to go to her whole backstory.
Planet Pegasus, but she's human?
Yeah, she's human.
All right. So there are aliens in this world.
There are aliens.
Yeah.
Yep. So the two guys on the other side of Orion there, those are aliens, obviously. So there's Sirius. He's an alien from like an Arctic planet.
Right.
And then there's Scorpion, the guy who looks like an insect. He's from like a rocky desert kind of planet. And everyone else on the pages are human, but among the bad guys are some aliens as well. But yeah, Diana, Orion's from Earth. Diana's from a planet called Pegasus, which is basically, it's the Old West is the best way I could describe it. There's basically like cowboys who could, like they're really good at flying ships. They all are good at handling guns. That's where Diana and her brother Bryce is from. You'll meet Bryce too in the book.
All right.
But they're like the main three characters.
All right. Can we translate this?
Yeah. Starship Troopers plus Battlestar Galactica plus Brave New World equals sold. Thank you, Tank Ferret.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the main inspirational sources. So that's basically what happened.
Yeah, that's really great. How you can get inspired by things that you love, and you integrate some elements of that, and you make something new, right?
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah, I think we all had a lot of fun. Everyone on the team had a lot of fun making this. Even Lisa. So Lisa has her own character who I have a trading card of. Her character's name is Lena Riley. And it's basically April O'Neil. She's a news reporter who does a lot of exposition. And it's just a lot of fun. Yeah. So you'll get it. She signed the trading card. They'll be offered along with the book when I do the campaign.
Oh.
I am not printing any more trading cards, so there's only like 13 left. So they'll be available as long as they're available, and then they'll hold their value.
Wow.
But yeah, everyone involved had a lot of fun making this. Luke's having a blast. I had fun writing it. I know Mike had fun editing it. Everyone who's actually read the script told me they had fun reading it. So I know you're going to have fun reading the book when it's done.
That's good. That's good to know. Okay, so people can find the link to this below, guys. Under this video, please subscribe to the Substack, right? And you will launch end of next month.
Yep. And the next month, and yeah, everyone who subscribes to the Substack is eligible for a free pop socket. You know, you could reach out to me anyway with a mailing address, reply to any of the emails you'll get from Substack, or message me or whatever, and I'll send you a free pop socket. And if you show off that free pop socket online on any post, I will send you a discount code for 20% off anything on the campaign. And then you get other, you know, exclusive neat stuff. I got like a webtoon kind of deal, like vertical scroll comic that I'll be releasing. And that'll be, you know, I think a reward tier, like get a subscription to that. I'm going to launch that on Global Comics later. You'll get a little preview of that, of the episode 0, like the little teaser. That's a post available on my Substack right now. Yeah, so you get cool stuff. The Substack is worth subscribing to.
That's great. Yeah, that's worth doing, guys. Awesome. Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and the image on the pop socket, if you're not familiar with a pop socket, is basically it's a handle. It's a little button thing goes in the back of your phone. It's a handle. It's a stand. They make little dashboard mounts. So you could just clip it into that. And the image on it is the same as my avatar. So that's what the kind of pop socket you'll get.
Those are those weird like things that you can attach to the back. I know what it is now.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's the image on my avatar, which is like the original conception of Orion's armor.
Okay. So Matthew asks, where do I find this comic? But it's not available just yet.
Yeah, May 30th, it launches on Fund My Comic.
Yes, Fund My Comic. That's excellent. Yeah,
if you subscribe to the Substack, you won't miss it. You'll get reminded.
With Luke Stone in your corner as the artist, it has to be Fund My Comic.
Yes, sir.
Tank Ferret, I too feel like shouting Shakespeare at the world sometimes.
I hear you, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Guys, if you have some questions about this comic or about story or about RJ, just feel free. Dave, lol. Yeah, I like nice art. So 4 pages done, it's a lot of work. You still have a lot of work to do. So what's the plan for the delivery? So next end of next month you will launch.
Mm-hmm.
Then how long do you think it will be before you can actually deliver the book?
That's a great question. It depends on how fast Luke could work, I guess.
Yeah, Luke is a busy man.
He's a busy man. I know he's very doesn't have too many projects going right now. He wanted to finish mine. I know he's looking forward to mine because he had fun reading it and had fun doing it, and working with Mike Barron, you know, is a opportunity you want to take advantage of. So yeah, I know he's excited to finish this project. You know, I'm just hoping we finish timely, and then I'll be in the delivery phase after that.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I came for the sci-fi, I stayed for the deep cuts.
There you go.
Yeah, man. We deliver here. Cool. Really, really nice, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, science fiction. It's cool to see more science fiction projects, comics.
Yeah.
You know,
I love sci-fi. It's a fun genre.
Absolutely. Right. Is there anything else that you want people to know about either your comic or your channel or whatever? This is your moment, sir.
Yeah, just stay tuned. If you're into like Starship Troopers, Helldivers, any of that military sci-fi stuff, Battlestar Galactica, if you like dystopians like Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451, anything like that, then you're gonna love this book. I think it's gonna be right up your alley.
Yeah, it's pretty violent. Also, you see like body parts flying.
Yeah, like I said, Orion's girlfriend is one of the hostages, so he's not holding back.
Yeah,
I'd say it's PG-13 rating.
Oh, what's the age rating? Yeah,
definitely PG-13.
Yeah. You know, it's very difficult to make a comic that's very much geared towards a younger audience.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned it's very difficult. You have to set like boundaries. You can do
Mm-hmm.
certain things and certain things you can't.
Yeah, and you got to market to an audience, and I think most of us is an older audience, but like I consider myself to be a PG-13 guy anyway. You know, like I grew up on Indiana Jones and Star Wars, and like that 1980s notion of what PG-13 was, which is probably, you know, barely PG-13 now. But I don't know. That's just that kind of stuff that was inspired by 1930s pulp with, like, you know, what was considerable for the time for PG-13. That's just kind of like where I live anyway in my mind. So it was easy to produce that. And I just tell people, yeah, it's not for your younger kids. If you're okay with them watching PG-13 movies, I think they'd be okay with this.
Sure. So can you tell us a little bit about, you had a script, Mike Barron read that, and he gave you some like feedback, and you like reduced pages, you reduced a panel count. So what are the things that, did you have to like cut specific scenes, or did you just shorten scenes? What happened?
I shortened the space battle scene for sure. It was really long. I was just having fun writing it.
Sure.
But for the purpose of the story, it doesn't have to be that long. You don't need pages and pages of seeing dogfighting, as much fun as it would be. If I were directing a movie, I'd probably just like have some kind of director's cut where like there's an extended dogfighting scene, because to me the idea of Top Gun in space seems like a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, leathering. Yeah, these are complete pages. But yeah, the idea of like Top Gun in space seems like a lot of fun. And I also made it in a nebula intentionally, so you would see more colors, not just the black and white, and you get more of a sense of how fast the ships are moving, and they're just kind of ripping through an atmosphere, even though it's barely an atmosphere.
Yeah.
But
so lots that got shortened were like space battles.
Yeah, most of the shortening was space battles. A lot of the dialogue got shortened.
Yeah.
Just in a way that's more concise. Also, like, and I talk about this when I do reviews of other people's books, but I learned that like I had some improvement to do in my first draft of this book. Just giving every character their own voice. Like Mike read the first draft and he said, you know, I don't think highly trained military guys would say these things or do these things. Then he pointed me toward like the unit, and he's like, watch that show, maybe read the book. So I did both. And I'm like, yeah, I see what you mean. Like, elite soldiers don't really talk or act that way. They're very like to the point, and you know, they're very calm and collected when things are getting crazy, and they're very direct in their communication. So like these guys, they're just in there kicking ass like it's a day in the office, because for them that's what it is. And
Absolutely.
I think they're the way they speak, you know, they kind of have their own terminology and shorthand, because they've been on a lot of missions together. They train on it together all the time. Yeah. And I also added like some pages where like they're kind of like on R&R, and you get to know them outside of their job for a little bit before they go into battle. So that kind of helps out with the audience connected to them, I think.
Yeah, sure. Gorilla Mars says, I'm definitely interested in this.
Yeah.
Doc said, yes, great stuff, RJ. Oh, nice.
Yeah, the sound effect lettering is funny because we had that initially, and you know, Mike's big on you know, believability, and you know, he wants things to feel like they could really be taking place. And his input was you know, they're in space, so you won't really have these sound effects until they're like inside the ship where there's actually more air.
That's true. It's not like,
so,
you know, we learned space battles from Star Wars, right? But
right, exactly.
Yeah.
But like in deep space, you wouldn't hear
no
laser sounds and, you know, all that, rockets or that stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit boring for a movie, but for a comic, you can do that. You can just leave out.
Yeah,
fact,
you
yeah.
can, depending on how realistic you want to be.
Yeah.
And you know, my editor, he likes it to be very realistic and believable. Like he talks about how much he loves Alien, and
All
like
right. Yeah.
I think they do a good job in Alien of keeping even the fantastical stuff kind of grounded, and that's kind of what we're going for here.
Yeah. Nobody can. I can imagine that like space battles, whilst cool to draw and to see, that you can like reduce pages, like page count for that, because ultimately, preferably, you want every scene to not only like be visually interesting, but also progress the story. And you can like have a space battle of 5 pages, and then which can also be like three pages with the same like progress, right? Because not much happens besides the battle itself.
Exactly.
Absolutely. In Alien, space truckers dealing with a monster. Welcome, Darius Artist. Welcome. Right. He says, looking good.
Yeah, so with my edits, I was able to cut down on battles and dialogue, and still I think it flowed better in the end. And I still had room to put in an extra scene that dealt with the characters outside of their jobs. So then you get to know them and connect with them before they're in a battle. And I think that helps the story out a lot.
All right. Great. All right. And the screen shares. Right. So next month, big day. So you're starting to build some hype for this book.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We will see you on shows and streams. Don't forget to reach out to people on time, right? Sometimes, because people are very welcome on my show, but sometimes they reach out to me, hey, can I come on your show next week? No, that's not possible. So reach out in time when you have something coming up, when you have a campaign coming up, right? Don't do it last minute. Yeah, man, I hope it'll be a smashing success.
Yeah.
You will launch on Bancroft, right?
Yep, we'll be launching on Baycroft. It'll be on Fun My Comics starting May 30th. Yeah, if you want updates, if you want reminders, if you want just free stuff like a pop socket, go ahead and subscribe to my Substack. That's the best way to stay in touch with this project. And I look forward to sharing this with you guys.
Yeah, excellent. Well, okay. Well, thank you, RJ, for talking about your book, your project, your upcoming campaign. Intriguing stuff. So we're looking forward to the campaign.
Thank you.
See what you're offering, but you have a lot of help from a lot of talented people. So
yeah,
I'm sure it'll work out fine.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So thank you, sir, and thank you, chat. Thank you all so much for being here, for staying with us despite the technical difficulties in the beginning. And if you like this conversation, please give this stream a like. And if you didn't like the conversation, give it a dislike. And I'm very sorry. I'll be back next week with my guest, Michael Oden. So I will see you then. Same channel, same time. Have a fantastic week, guys. And see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. See ya.